Hello, my name's Rich Phippen and I'm the director of Bunch of Amateurs.
And I'm Bobby Joe Taylor and I am wingback at Dorking Wanderers.
Well, here we are, Bob, looking at what I assume is going to be your favourite game of the series, because it had some serious ups and downs. It was a Tuesday night at home to Maidstone, right?
Correct. It was, yep. It was a whirlwind of an evening, if you like. Now we can look back at it.
So to be clear, when you're en route to the ground at this point, you're starting, right?
Yep, as far as I'm aware, yeah. We've obviously, I think we had quite a few injuries at the time and some illnesses I know that was flying about. But yeah, the gaffer voice noted me the night before to say obviously that I was playing and what he wanted. And yeah, obviously that changed as we got to the ground. But I was starting that game.
So this is one of the few times where I'm in there before. He's not usually in the dressing room before the match like this.
No,
so I was chatting to him and he was saying to me, this is fucked, I've got illness. And what I needed to get across here was he took you out and I didn't know this was coming, which is why I've got no cameras on you, which is annoying, but he took you out because he needed someone on the bench who could play multiple positions, right?
Yeah, so it's funny watching it back, to be honest, because I mean, I do. By the way, Rich, I do watch some of the shows, but I don't think I watch them religiously, which I probably should do. I know a lot of my mates and that do, but yeah, watching it back, to be fair, just seeing this, I haven't seen it, so I've seen the goals, but we'll get to that obviously.
Well, I think I'd send them to you straight away. So I'm in shot here, which I can't stand. This is the only time I'm in shot, so I'm getting the fuck out of the way.
So yeah, I mean, from what I can remember, obviously, he said to me that. That we had a lot of illnesses, and because obviously I'm quite versatile and I can play in a lot of different positions. I think that he said it would be best off if I start on a bench so that I can come on and cover a number of positions. So obviously at the time it's I don't know, it's hard. I was a bit disappointed. Obviously, I think anybody would tell you the same thing. You know, you're coming and preparing for a game. Obviously, listen, I always prepare right anyway, as I always have done, whether I'm playing or if I'm starting or I'm not, just because you've got to be ready at any time. But obviously being starting and then it's always naturally going to be disappointing. But obviously, yeah, it's one of those you have to control your emotions. I think it's not anybody's fault, in the dressing room or in the team. So, you got to manage them emotions, because I knew at some point I'd definitely play a part. In the game, so whether that be coming on and securing a lead, whether that be coming on to change the game, you just never know. I knew it'd be there at some point, so you've got to try and control them, which is obviously what I did.
But that must be hard in this team talk here, because you've only been told 10-20 minutes earlier, so you must be sitting there thinking, fuck's sake.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that, like I say, there is things that run through your mind at the time. I mean, obviously when you're there, it's probably a bit different, but from what I can remember, it was. Initially, at the start, I'm sort of like, I'm a bit disappointed inside. I'm a bit frustrated, obviously, because I love football. Always have done ever since I was a kid. I'm lucky enough to have it as a job, and even come building up to the game, I still get exactly the same feelings as I did when I was young. The little butterfly feelings that you get in your stomach, because you think of scenarios that might happen in the game, and I've always done that. And if you don't get that feeling, I think you're probably in the wrong job. But so yeah, no, the initial thought was frustration. But like I said, it's one of those that you can't dwell on, because as I say, there's at some point you're gonna play a part, and obviously. Just as that example, it was proved to be quite pivotal. So, yes, just one of them feelings. To be fair, there's a lot of emotions that go into it, but it's what it is.
Okay, so Maidstone didn't have that many fans when I walked around here. Hang on, you're at former club, right?
Yeah,
just
there is.
An added level of irony here.
Yeah, just to throw in there, by the way. Obviously I'm a Dorking player. Maidstone does have a place in my heart. I spent 2 years at the football club, and we achieved something together in promotion into the National League, and that was a great day for everybody at the club. So it's a weird one, isn't it? As you say, I'm now a Dorking player at this point. So obviously the most important thing for us is 3 points, and it was we've both gone up that season, so it was always like a rivalry.
How do the fans treat you? How do the Maidstone fans treat you personally?
Well, from what I get, to be fair. I remember when we played Maidstone that game, and I come on that side, and the ones that, you know, travel home and away are always, you know, normally the hardcore, good sort of fans, and they will shout me over to come and give me a hug and stuff like that. So, you know, that I think those ones are the ones that don't forget. You know, there's no bad blood there. There never was. It was one of those that we've just sort of moved on. I think everywhere I've been, to be fair, I'm not really the type of character to sort of like, you know, play it that way. I always like to show support, and I don't like to burn bridges, because you never know in football, you know, where you can be and whatever else. So, you know, for the core fans, you know, we've always had a good relationship, and, you know, I've always got time for those, and some people still talk to me now, so, you know, it does hold a special place. But obviously on the night, you know, the important thing was 3 points, and to be quite honest, Rich, actually, funny enough, the clubs I've been at, it's funny to say, it felt kind of like it was brewing a little bit, because I remember playing when I was at Aldershot, and I hit the post against Wargs, and then I think the Dover games I got a couple of assists, and then there was a couple of other chances, odds here and there. So I feel like it was sort of coming at some point, and yeah, I'm kind of glad actually that it was at home rather than at the Gallagher, to be honest.
So this evening was really hard to tell the story here, because I'm filming Mark, and just to be clear, we are sitting in a Holiday Inn bar right now. Yeah. Josh is watching because he wants to see how director's commentary works. Me and Bob are doing this on our laptop. And all the coaching staff are behind us getting drunk. And Mark, I think, is going out for the night. So, all right, so we've given Josh a microphone. Welcome, Josh.
Thanks for having me.
So yeah,
cousins, by the way, as well. Me and Josh.
So this was a big challenge for me, because I was sitting in this room filming Mark, who was having a meeting with the council. Little did I know, there was some banging on the door, and we were like, "Fuck off!" And it turned out it was Dino trying to explain to Mark. So Ed Harris has got injured. Is Ed that got injured in the warm-up?
He got injured in the warm-up, didn't he?
Yeah, because I was injured for this game already, and then Ed got injured in the warm-up, so we watched it together.
Because Ed got injured, and
someone's going out for the night.
Ed got injured, and they were trying to figure out who would be the likely substitute to replace Ed, obviously. And
so, I mean, this is credit to the gaffer. Not necessarily his hair.
You said it, not me.
This is a credit to the gaffer, because he's having a meeting with like 20 councillors who are grilling him, and at the same time I'm filming, and at the same time he's getting a message saying your main central defender is now injured.
Yeah,
and
that's
he's having to deal with all of that at the same time. And personally, when I'm stressed and I'm trying to do my work, I just think of the shit that he has to do in a day and think, well, if he can do it, like, maybe I can.
Yeah, there's a lot that he goes through, to be fair. I forgot you was injured for this, Josh, actually.
Yeah. I think we had quite a few injuries, which obviously makes it worse when Ed obviously goes down in there. But,
we did this shot 3 weeks later, because I didn't have a shot of him walking out. So I said to the gaffer...
Oh, you need to add it in there.
Yeah, so I said to the gaffer, look, I never do this, I never cheat.
Is this how this works then, Rich? You make us act and do things certain ways to make it perfect.
Yeah, you have to go back.
Sometimes you've got to tweet.
Pretend, good editor,
Before I started doing this, I got a masterclass subscription. Masterclass is really good, because you get like 10 high-quality videos from someone that
By the way, here's Rich talking about himself again.
Gordon Ramsay does a masterclass on cooking, and Helen Mirren does a masterclass on acting. I subscribed to the masterclass on documentary making by a guy called Ken Burns, and Ken Burns said you can manipulate but you can't cheat. And that was manipulation, because I needed to tell the story of Mark going from one room to another. So we filmed the shot of him, 3-second shot of him walking. What you can't do is cheat. And by cheating, I mean I can't shoot an interview with him 3 weeks later where he predicts what's going to happen in the game.
Yeah.
Which I've only done once.
I see.
I have done that once.
Manipulation allowed, cheating not.
If you want to tell the story as it happened, maybe you twist it a little bit to get the story across. What you can't do is give Mark or any of the coaches or even you guys an opportunity to pretend that it's...
You know,
when you know the outcome. That's an example with us.
To be fair, actually, when you talk about that, we're talking about a good example is when a gaffer comes in and literally says on the first game of the season that goalkeeper would get sent off, right? And he actually did predict it. That's not cheating.
Yeah, that's not cheating.
Yeah, he actually did. Yeah. He's good at that.
Ironically, that first episode, at the end of the first episode of the series, the interview I did with him looks like it was done at the beginning of pre-season. It was actually done at the end of pre-season. Nice. But we didn't do the interview as if that were the case. I did the interview and it just happened to look that way, and I kind of used it. So I feel that was borderline.
Here we go. Look, here we go. All the boys coming out, and we've got a couple of broken people, by the way, that are, you know, having to dig their heels to play this game. You know, you've got to give some credit to you know, the outcome, considering obviously, you know, I was a bit disappointed being one of the healthy ones. You know, I wasn't playing. Yeah, but you got to give credit to some of the people that actually did show up today. And
was this the one where was this one where Niles been ill?
Yeah, Niles, like, you know, Niles literally dead and buried, mate. He actually was a hero on the day.
I can't remember the date of this. Was this around December?
I think so. Yeah, sick? Just before Christmas.
Yeah, it was cold. All I know is it was cold. So
I remember we went to the darts.
Yeah.
Christmas do.
If I'm wearing an Under Armour, then it's cold. That's all I'm saying. All right, I've got everything on that.
Because you guys had the Yeovil debacle when you were all sick and that, and I didn't go to that, but I went to training or something, and maybe this game, and I got sick straight after this, and we went to the darts. It was the first day of my sickness, and it lasted 2 weeks, and it was fucking horrendous.
Horrific. Yeah. Because the darts was the day after Yeovil, where half the squad was dead.
God.
Half the squad was dead.
To be fair, yeah. Do you know what? Did you go to the darts?
No. Yeah, I went to the darts.
Do you know I went to the darts because I played in that Yeovil game when it was 0-0. It was the worst game. Like, I mean, you know, it was a horrible game as a mutual to watch. But, you know, like we went there and got what we needed. But that was, like, I remember Spike played left back. He played behind me. Young lad got squad. You know, he did really well. He played behind me. You had him in there. You had we was all down on the bus, and literally everyone was like, "Nah, what's going on here?" Like, everyone's coughing. Like, we was actually, like, you know, in a bad place, and we managed to get what we did. And then we was having a darts the next day. And we was like, who's going then? Like, and I remember I went. It was the worst thing I ever did. But
sorry, Bob, but
who just when he fell over? Yeah, that's
Freddie
right.
Runner falling off. He actually hurt himself, but we were laughing so much.
That's brilliant.
He had to pretend it didn't hurt.
How far injured was you at this point then, Josh? Was you out for? Can't remember.
I think. Yeah, start of December mine was, so I was only a couple of weeks into it.
That's a big loss for us. No Josh Taylor in midfield. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was the winter of discontent.
Just for the fans, so they all know that he is the B-Tech Taylor, though. Obviously, I'm the OG, right? So make sure that I want to make sure everyone knows that.
But it's funny because no player is better for Mark White than when that player is not available.
Yeah, they become so much better.
You suddenly become a god.
Yeah, and then it's just like, once we get this player back, we'll be good.
It was
Niall
last week because there were a few injuries, and he was like, fucking Niall's on the way back, it's going to make a big difference. And I just kept, all I could picture was that game at Solihull, I think it was, when Niall was playing and Mark was moaning about him and you were losing. And I was like, well, he didn't help in the Solihull game. But fuck Niall for the record. Fuck Niall McManus.
Oh, wow. Don't, because he's the most angriest kid at the moment. Should have seen him in training on Thursday. Jesus Christ.
I said to him on Thursday, can you do director's commentary if you're there?
He didn't say no.
Don't want that.
He said, he goes, I'll do it any time, but not this weekend.
Brilliant.
Drama queen,
Brilliant.
Sammy Alad.
Sammy assist, mate. What a guy. What a guy.
Yeah, remember Sammy come in the team for the Yeovil game and got a clean sheet and won. Obviously stayed in here for a bit.
Sammy the Buffalo, we call him the Buffalo, mate. What a guy. Brilliant character. Super guy, horrible on the pitch though, horrible man.
Well, we got to mic him up at the end of last season. I've never mic'd up a player before, and it was brilliant. It was so educational to get. Only got like 4 minutes because he came on very late in the game.
Right.
He was going to get a lot longer for his 100th game.
Yeah, right. That's
but
right.
Then he conceded fairly late, and he couldn't come on. He eventually came on, and I got a good few minutes.
If we're talking about the game, we want to talk about how good James McShane is, by the way, or. And his goals. His goal
are we supposed to be commentating on this game?
Talking about the game, you know, I've got to just say that.
Back on track.
I know people was clear to see, but James McShane, I mean, I'm hoping that everyone else is as baffled as me as how he hasn't played in the Football League pyramid.
I ask him that every time, really, on interviews and that, and he's never really got an answer.
Yeah, he's like, just to go through the divisions, and then play at this level, the highest level of non-league, and score 17 goals in your first season. I mean, like, come on, that's
I just
some achievement.
Kind of assume. I mean, it's not like I've ever heard of him get loads of offers for him. I'd imagine if he does, he wouldn't tell Mac.
Chesterfield last season, wasn't it? Supposedly.
Really?
Well, I don't know.
There's a bit of interest. I think there was some sort of interest. I'm not really too sure, but whatever happens, he's talking through and through, mate.
Yeah,
he won't be going anywhere. I won't let him go. All the time I'm here, he's not going anywhere. He's a great guy as well, by the way. He's a fantastic person, and it just his position in all senses in the 10 is just phenomenal. He's just right place, right time, and is technically one of the best at the club, I think.
Here's a question on.
Do you remember the goal at Gateshead though, quickly, didn't you? I think got goal of the season.
Yeah, it was an amazing goal.
Outrageous.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Playing
Shout out,
out
Macca.
patterns there.
Yeah.
How stressful is that? Because to me, it looks stressful when he's
If I
going
speak,
out.
I'm in trouble. No.
When I'm on the sideline, because I'm usually quite near that part of
it's
it,
a goal, isn't it?
where they
Yeah,
really
it's
close you down. So he's ex-Dorking, isn't he?
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
I think I might have
is
just
that-
started when he was there.
Is that celebration supposed to be?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Is he
I think so.
Dorking?
I think because he was here not
would
for
have
very
been,
long. I don't
yeah.
think he was there for very long.
Silly.
So
Although I'm not really sure the Dorking fans know who he is. So
No, to be fair, before hammering him too much, he is a good player.
He's
to
a
be
great
fair,
little
yeah,
finisher.
no, he's great. Yeah, he is.
does well
He's
against
good.
us.
He's good in the air as well. He's a good player. He's a sharp player. In the
He
right
did well
team,
here as well,
yeah,
didn't he? Obviously, it was
I think so.
before
I think
we
he scored
come,
a fair
but
few goals.
the boys said
Yeah,
he did
as
well.
far as I'm aware.
understanding is
but-
that he is the archetypal selfish striker, and I mean that in the positive way. Like he's a
But-
guy who just wants to get the ball and score a goal. And
He's not a Ryan Seager or an Alfie Rutherford, though.
yeah,
So.
exactly. He doesn't have the
Or a
he
Jace,
doesn't have
or
the
an
self-
Otway.
Or Jay, yeah, but no,
And certainly not the
Otts and
selflessness
Jace
of an
are
Otts.
two different types of strikers.
Yeah.
Barham, Seager, Alfie Rutherford. I don't know which order you want to put them in, Josh, but I've got mine.
Yeah, I'll leave that one.
Quality.
I forget the keeper's name. Joe.
Walsh come on loan, didn't he? Yeah.
Really like Joe Walsh.
Yeah, I did
And
as well. I
was
yeah.
hoping after his injury that he'd come back, but we didn't see him again, which is a real shame.
Is he? Do we know? Is he still at QPR now? Is that where he's from?
so.
QPR.
Yeah, yes, he
And
is.
he
A friend of mine.
did
A
he
friend
not
of
go on
mine.
to us?
Fuck. A friend of mine was doing. He usually does pictures at
Here
QPR
we
as a
go.
photographer.
Here we go. Talk about this. Is one of the injuries. This is one of our star players down here, by the way.
I was making
guys.
go off here as well.
I'm literally like I'm having a heart attack on the sideline because I'm worried for his health. He's got a head injury.
Because you might have to come on in a camera roll.
What a caring man.
Mate, I'm caring him. I'm shouting to make sure he's all right. You know, well, James McShane. I think he.
To your credit, it was you saying that when Ed got his injury, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
no, I was over there straight away. First one to make sure he hadn't swallowed his tongue. You
Save.
know. Not trying to get the geezer sent off. Make sure Ed's all right. I'm a caring
Yeah, that's a
person, Rich. You know. Come on.
See who
guy,
it
mate,
is,
I'm a nice
Moro
guy.
and a couple of
Only
other
a
boys
funny
going straight to the ref. Bob, like what a considerate guy.
I'm not
actually,
only.
no,
I'm
That's,
not only
that's
funny.
it with us Taylors. Do you know what I mean? We're looking out
yeah,
for
we
the
are,
Fair,
boys.
lads, there's one thing I would say about
Go
the
on, Noel.
Dorking players is that you're
Go
all
on,
quite
Noel.
nice.
Go on,
And
Noel.
without Moro, I do think you lack that kind of get on the ref factor.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, that's like, yeah, Moro's all over it, isn't he? And that's like a big part for the
You know
gaffer
what, I think
before
that's what
games
he's fighting
saying,
for.
yeah, Moro, get on the ref, Moro, get on the ref.
I think you get certain type of characters though. You know, like that fits the bill with Luke. You know, Moro's character. He is that type of guy. Just quickly before I go back to I'm really concerned for Macca down here, guys. No, he fits the bill with that type of character. Though. I mean, like, I know the gaffer wants to try and embed that quite a bit in some of the boys, but like you often find that some people can't do everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll find, you know, Josh Taylor can be good at, he wants to be good on the
What can he
ball,
be
and
good
he
at?
don't speak. You know, he's not one of those. You know, you just give him the ball, he can't do both.
No,
Got to
absolutely.
be good at one or the other. You know, he's either really good at talking or he's really good at playing football.
As a
And I'll
non-footballer,
take that
though,
second one. And
Bob,
Moro's got it all though. He can do both.
as a non-footballer, to me, and I know this is simplistic, but to me, surely there are strings you can add to your bow, or do
No,
you guys
can.
find
No, you
that
can, but
it's set in stone?
No, you can.
Mixed metaphor.
But you know, it doesn't happen straight. It's those habits in it you get into, and like when you're not one of those players that are used to doing that, to then try and just add it in all of a sudden. You know, it just doesn't happen overnight normally. You know, it's because
Yeah.
you know when he, for example, using Josh as an example, he sat next to us, but when he gets on the ball, he's good at driving the ball. You know, he manipulates the ball really well. You know, that sort of stuff. Like then for you to then start telling him that he needs to try and concentrate on telling somebody else what to do at that time.
Yeah.
It just that type of character. You know what I mean? Whereas you see Moro, he's done that for years. That's what he does. Do you know what I mean?
Ingrained in him.
It's ingrained in him, so it takes a bit of time, you know. And I personally, I look at them characters and I'd go, well, I'd rather Josh just be good at what he does than try and change him. So, but I do get it. But you know, it can be done, and you need to have leaders and things like that within the team. And I know people are trying to step up and do that. You know, we learned a lot last year that you know you can't just ample by. You've got you need to try and get that into your game. So, I don't know what your take is on it, Josh. But.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, there's different, like I say, players are good at different things. But yeah, 100% as you get more experience and develop and you play under different managers with different players, you can 100% like add to your, like you were saying earlier, like add to your game, add different strings to it. But ultimately, players are sort of the way they are generally.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're going into team talks, do you know
What's coming?
Do you know what's coming? And when you predict what's coming, how often are you right, do you think?
I think... I don't know. To be fair with the gaffer, it's difficult because at times where we've played badly and you think, right, we're going to get it here, he can be ultra positive and like really fine, like the
really
things.
good and you hammer us still.
Yeah. So he kind of. I think. You know, maybe he's trying to like level things out a bit and try and keep us even keel.
I think there's a unique way he does things. Like, I've got to give him credit. He's good at knowing what you need to do, what you need to say.
You need to hear.
Like, you know, you were playing really well, and you think like everyone comes in, but he don't let you just sit on that. You know, it's not like, yeah, well done, guys. You know, he gives you that little bit of brain knowledge. I don't know if you want to sort of like get your mind right, if you like.
Yeah.
And when you're not playing very well, it's like, okay, we might have to put an arm around you and sort of like go, come on, you know, we got more in the tank. So I was going to say at the start, we both thought about it then as well. It was like, yeah, we know what he says, but then you don't. You actually don't. You know, you're not sure.
Yeah,
Not
that's
sure.
obviously like a big positive of the gaffers is like his man management and how he deals with players and people like that's probably come from outside of football as well, like in the different businesses and managerial roles.
Management going on in here.
100%.
No, the best thing about him ultimately, bottom line is that, you know, what you see is what you get. There is no, you know, you just know where you stand, and that's, you know, as players, a lot of the boys, why we all get along as well, and how we say it is that what you see is what you get. Like, if you're not playing well, you're not playing. You know, if you're playing well, you get told. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? And when you need a bollocking, you get one. When you get told how good you was, you get one. You know, as simple as that.
And he often says to me he doesn't get too high or too low, and I think you often see that with the team talks. Like, he never gets carried away. It's why when you are smashing someone, he will look at what can be fixed or what needs improving.
Yeah.
I remember that one of the first times I ever filmed him, he said in a team talk, I think they'd won their first 3 games of the season, the first ever season in the South.
Was this when they got spanked by Josh Taylor and Alfie
well,
Rutherford?
we're going to get to that.
Having a Waterlooville
He's
team.
getting carried away. This fucking guy.
Don't worry, I got chopped inside out by Josh Taylor as well when he was at Havant and Waterlooville.
He was saying to them, you've won 3 in a row, but if you keep playing like that, you're going to get found out. And a week later, or a few days later, we're down at Havant, and you did find him out. You found all of them out. What's going on? What's going on? Someone coming on?
Am I getting ready to come on now? Sorry.
So why would you be coming on right now? Can you remember? What's happened?
I'm going
What is it, 2-1 at the moment?
What I can remember,
2-1 down,
what I can remember him saying, you're going to have to go in the midfield. And we're pushing Dan Gallagher back, and I'm going in the 2, and Noel's going deep roll. From what I can remember, I'm pretty sure that's what he said. He said, you're going to have to go in the 2, Bob, but give some quality in there.
Oh, put some quality in there. Nice.
said-
Get a proper centre mid in there.
Put some quality in there, like, just get us going, like, you know,
So have you played centre mid before?
Yeah, I used to play centre mid, yeah. Played centre mid when I was at Dover. To be fair, wherever I've gone, wherever I've been at a football club, I've always ended up playing multiple positions. In all honesty, like, I've always started somewhere, and then like someone can't play somewhere. For example, at Dover, I had to go left back for a game, and I ended up getting man of the match. And next thing you know, I went there the next game after that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's one of those. And then I could play in the midfield. I think probably just a footballing brain, if I'm being honest.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, footballing brain. Honestly, getting Bobby on here, there is no danger of him talking himself up here. We've had it on the coach on the whole way up. We were watching videos of him scoring a goal against Hungerford. We've had it the whole way up. Here we go.
Drop me in it like that, by the way. That's out of order, because now it looks like I've got a massive ego, and I don't. By the way, I'm the most humble person you've ever
Is
seen
that
in
your
your
burn
life.
on that phone I'm looking at there?
Oh yeah, that's my missus. Yeah,
Very nice.
she's lucky, isn't she?
She's very lucky.
Just to let you know, just to let you all know as well, if this gets put in here, that Josh Taylor made Cookie lose his head playing Uno on the coach up here.
So I heard a rumour about this. So what I've heard is that Cookie has a fairly quick temper.
Yep,
Oh, my word.
And I've heard that
very.
there was a game of Uno and there was some etiquette issues. Josh.
Massive etiquette issues.
Oh yeah,
Rich, this would have been golden footage.
Oh, that's, by the way, that's a sending off there and then, isn't it?
So hang on, before we get into that, this really bothered me.
Back to the game.
So I think that was a red card.
Yeah.
He does get sent off. Oh no, he gets second yellow, doesn't he? Yeah.
Ironically, it's a free kick the other way because he plays the advantage and then deems the advantage to have been played through.
Yeah.
I feel that there was no way that Jimmy's getting caught there.
Man as well. Yeah.
It's
It's
nasty,
two strikers on the goalkeeper if Jimmy doesn't go down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's a goal scoring opportunity, and it's been stopped, and Seeger doesn't quite make it. If Seeger stops running, that's got to be a red card. So, but this is one of those ones that when you put it on TikTok, you get 1,000 comments in either direction.
Right.
And everyone hates each other. no, I think this, and you're a fucking idiot if you disagree. And I'm like, well, it's nuanced. Clearly it's nuanced. If we've got 1,000 comments in either direction, then you have to accept it's not an easy answer. I'm willing to accept that, but most commenters aren't capable of accepting that, and it drives me fucking mad.
There's a lot of things that drive you mad though, Rich.
True. Yeah, that's true. I think Mark was quite clear on this point. I just feel like when you have to deal with as much social media as I do, and I don't really like being on there, but I had to moderate it. It's fucking
you trying to pass me the pram the other day in Cornwall was stressing you out, mate.
I was very stressed in Cornwall, I got to admit. I was working on pretty much on my own, except for my pregnant wife, who left a load of stuff in the car and I couldn't have a go at her because she was pregnant.
That's brilliant.
I had to just go and get it. It was really annoying. I interrupted you, Josh, and I can't remember what it was about.
We're talking about Cookie.
Oh yeah, talk to me about that. What happened?
We're not even watching the game, are we? By the looks of things,
this has been the worst commentary on the actual football ever. But I won't drag it out too long. But Cookie basically just broke a fundamental rule of Uno.
What did he do?
Well, he just went when it wasn't his turn.
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
And that was to finish the game. Finish the game.
Thank you, Rich. Honestly, if you would have supported us 100%. So basically, he was down to one card. It was Jebby's go.
Mate.
Cookie's gone, and he's not accepted. He thought Jebby's taking too long. It's just shambolic.
Here we go. Here it comes. This is the second yellow.
Oh, second yellow.
Terrible tackle. Watch how bad this is.
Oh wow!
Good job the referee.
Did you kick the guy on the floor?
Yeah,
what was
I tried
that?
to absolutely lever it in the bins, and it's gone so bad.
Josh, if I played Uno with Cookie, 100% I'd be dead by now. I would have wound him the fuck up.
Yeah. No, well, Rich, he completely lost it. He bought the Uno deck, and it was effectively the same situation as if you were at the park playing football, and he goes, it's my ball, I'm taking it home now. he wasn't having it. He stopped playing.
I love it.
Yeah, it was not on from Cookie.
I play Uno to win. I track who's got what left. Like I know what card that fucker's got, and I will team up with everyone to stop that one person from winning.
Yeah,
and I'll cheat.
Yeah.
This is
Uno
it, guys. This is it.
So just to be clear, right, back to the game. Bob, you are Mark's favourite for playing against 10 men. Because when you've got time on the ball...
What are you trying to say? That I'm not good in tight spaces, Rich? Oh, that's poor, that.
I'm just trying to compliment you. You're even better when you've got a bit... Absolutely. Mark says to me all the time, I fucking don't trust Bob unless there's fucking space in front of you. But here we go. You got space in front of you, and this is what you live for, right?
Yeah, to be fair, I would definitely say I'm somebody that, given time on the ball, can probably create some stuff. But alternatively, though, I mean, like there is times when I get in tight areas as well that I can probably wiggle my way out of things. But I mean, the last few seasons, I've played a lot of games with space in front of me, and it seems to have worked. But
when Cal's come on here, he's playing centre mid as well.
He goes centre mid, and I go left wing back.
Oh, okay. I thought you were both playing centre mid.
This is a good move that we nearly score from. Noel has an opportunity. The keeper makes a good save, to be fair. But I remember there, I was thinking it was going in.
It's almost like you've seen this episode a few times.
He's done his homework.
I've seen the goals, mate. Yeah,
you know what's coming.
I haven't watched the
Josh, you weren't here earlier when he said, I don't watch every episode.
No, I don't watch every episode. I don't.
Just the ones he scores in.
I should do, but I've seen the highlights. I haven't actually watched this. I've seen the highlights. I have. Honestly.
He knows every single thing that's about to happen.
I know everything about football, mate.
Delivery.
I don't. I should watch
One thing that does blow my mind, Bob.
Can I just say something?
Go on,
say it again.
Go on.
What makes it laugh about this? I know this is a goal here, but what really is the big standout thing is Gary Pascoe on the commentary talking about how he reckons that someone's done his ACL and doesn't even care about the goal.
Do you remember that, Rich?
Do you remember that?
No, I don't listen to the
I'm watching the highlights and he's going, oh, he's done his knee there. He's done his knee.
If there's a way you can edit the video somehow, work your magic and get Pascoe's commentary on here. Look at this now, trying to punch him.
No, man, angry man.
But Rich, basically
fights over a ball. It's so silly.
Pascoe's just diagnosed an injury.
Well, I've got the footage here, so that means I've got the commentary. I just have to lift it up. So I lift it up there.
The fella's done his ACL. He's still talking about it.
Yeah, he's still talking about it while I've scored.
Wow.
It's brilliant, mate. Absolutely
so I
brilliant.
remember us celebrating on the side there. We were well pleased because it was really important to get a point. And I think we were just so relieved because it was so late in the game.
Yeah.
That I think we kind of felt, the game's done. It's a 2-2 draw. It was kind of the vibe we had on the bench because it didn't take long for the third to come along.
How late's that equaliser?
90th minute.
Was that 90? It was both these goals were in injury time, weren't they?
To be honest, just before that goal, there isn't. I don't know if there is a highlight on it or anything, but Eyes puts a ball in again before, and it comes to the back stick, and I'm not there. And all that rings in my head is my old man, and he's like, he always used to say to me, like, when I was playing left wing, he used to say, like, if you want to score goals, you need to get in the back post.
Right.
Because I didn't get in there that time. For the goal, obviously, I made the run, and Eyes obviously picked me out, which was great. And then I went and celebrated with my mate who's come to watch for the first time, my mate El Baldock. He was a little shout out for him. Yeah, he was in the crowd the first time he come to watch, and I scored 2 goals. So I told him he needs to come back more.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I hope he hears it.
There you go. Look at you, fucking giving it on the left.
He's flying now.
Yeah,
he's flying out
confidence is going through the roof here, Rich. You know, this is the best bit I've got to give.
So here we go. This is the one where we're all chatting on the side. Mark's facing me. We're all like, we're not set for the corner.
I'm not set for the corner.
Nobody is set for the corner.
I'm not set for the corner.
And it's not just you. To be fair, it's Siegs as well, isn't it?
Delivery from
one's
Cal.
set, in all honesty, no one's set for the corner, right? In that instant, in that moment, right? Honest to God, again, I'm walking on the edge of the box, and I think, right, well, we're secure at the back. We've got a point probably because they're down to 10. I'm on the edge of the box. No one stayed up for Maidstone. I'm thinking, well, I'm fucking going in for this.
Yeah,
do you know what? I might as well got nothing to lose. No one's even shouting or looking at us. I've looked around and I've seen all the Maidstone lot just not even looking remotely at where anyone is, like in like no man's land. And there's a big, massive gap at the near post, and I'm thinking, right, if there's anybody that can knock an apple off someone's head with a left foot, it's Cal Kennedy. And I'm thinking, I know he's going to find me if I get there. And he spotted the run.
That's such a good description.
And he spotted me,
so
and then it was just, my old man always said, I mentioned it, didn't I, in the interview after when you said to me, and I said, like, all that goes through is, like, it doesn't matter how big you are, because he's a football man that come from the background. And
I love that celebration. Hardly anyone's looking, and then one person's cheered, and everyone else said, I better cheer, we must have done something.
And he says, it's all about timing and attacking the space. But yeah, I mean, that's what 2 competitive goals were made.
And that celebration there, when everyone ran to the bench, you took everyone over there. Like, for me, from a production perspective, like, you never know if you're going to capture those moments. And I've just got Jack to bring me a beer. I waved an empty glass at him and he's brought one over. What a legend.
And me and Josh are just drinking a pint of water.
It could so easily have been missed if I wasn't ready, or if my battery had been, you never know if you're actually going to capture that.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder how many I miss. But that one was a dream. That's like a pinnacle of the season for me, that one shot of everyone running out, because everyone is so genuinely happy. I love a Tardelli celebration. I can't stand a pre-planned celebration. I hate them.
Just want raw emotion.
Yeah, I want raw fucking emotion.
You know what?
That's what that one gave us.
This is like those parts of your career, and Josh, you'll agree, where you get, there's highs and there's lows. There's so many highs and lows. And you get real standout moments that probably last a lot longer than those short ones. Some short-lived ones are those ones there where you get a couple of goals, people celebrate with you, but then you've got to think about the next game.
Yeah, I mean, that was 3 points in a season.
Whereas you go
points or whatever.
You go for the promotion. Obviously, that day there is like, we get to celebrate together for the whole off season. If you want to drag it out, do you know what I mean? So there's a good highs, and like you said, the raw emotion for the club and everyone else.
I think our day in the sun was such a separate moment. It was so rare, and it's out there on its own. For me, finding those moments within a season that was a mid-table season, ultimately having those little peaks that come along every now and then, it's like, this is why we're here, right? This is what we do it for, Josh. Although Josh actually wasn't in the celebration.
I wasn't there, but I'm in there listening. But like you say, like, last season there wasn't like that individual key moment of like the playoff final, which is, probably I'm never going to play in a more enjoyable game than that. But yeah, ones like this, do you know what I mean? Like, where at the time it's a massive game, because I don't know where we were in the league at the time, but obviously Maidstone were down there. It's it's maybe a bit too early to call it a relegation 6-pointer, but we know
it's close.
It's a big game, and to go from being 2-1 down to then nick a winner from a brace from the main man.
And just quickly on the dressing room while we're in here. Those reaction shots are probably the most awkward part of my day, because I know I'm pointing the camera at your faces, and I'm hoping by now that you've reached a point where you don't really notice it.
Yeah, no, for me, I think all the lads just, I don't know, I think I've said this to you before, like, I'm sure you'll see it doing it with other teams now. But I feel like there's other teams where players or some of the lads would be more like camera hungry, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And like playing up to it a bit more. I don't know if I feel like just our change room is very like,
I'll be honest.
back.
I'll be honest, Rich, mate. I don't notice because if my eyes get wandering off of the gaffer, he'll tell me off.
He does.
So, as soon as you're looking or doing anything else, he asks you if you're okay, and then everyone looks at you. So I don't notice, 100%. Mate. No. Or if not, I'm biting my nails.
But you guys in the corner are tougher because it's so blatant.
Oh, look at that beard, mate. Wow.
Now we did cheat.
That's awful.
Is this when we cheated?
That is awful.
This is when we cheated.
Why did you not tell me anything about that?
How's this a
Look
cheat?
how
This interview is 2 weeks later.
No.
Yeah, this is, remember, this is 2 weeks later.
You done it later.
It's a manipulation.
How good did I do in that, by the way? I didn't.
Yeah, no, you did a really good job.
Make it look like I actually did it
I
after.
don't know if
you should have shaved your beard a bit.
With what you had in the game, we should check that.
Oh, mate, that is a great shout. No, I think it was long, but it wasn't that long. I don't know what I was thinking there. I must have been going through.
Unless you were cropping it into that shape.
Going through a hard stage of life or something. Who thinks that's acceptable? That is awful.
That must be before you got that bird I just saw on your phone, because that.
Yeah, she doesn't like the beard, mate. To be honest.
But yeah, it was one of those ones where I made a huge fucking mistake by not connecting. Oh, Bob didn't get picked. Bob came off the bench against his old club and scored 2 goals. I won't interview him.
What storyline?
Fucked it.
We live and we learn, Rich. We live and we learn, mate. Don't we?
Right. Well, we'll leave it there because we can't hear what Mark's saying, so we'll let it go. But thank you everyone for listening, and thank you Bob and Josh for giving me your time.
No problem, Rich. Apologies to the viewers who are wanting some commentary on the actual game and not just a chit chat.
Yeah, and also just to let you know, Josh said that I like to watch goals and stuff like that. I'm actually the joker of this group, by the way. I bring all the fire, I bring all the energy. I'm a fun guy. Right, I've got a great ego.
It wasn't Bob showing it. We were asking to see it. We just want to see more of Bob's goals.
We're trying to next season, Bobby Joe Taylor uncovered. Thanks for watching Bunch of Amateurs and listening to this director's commentary. It was a bit slapdash. We were sitting in a hotel bar. There's going to be lots more of these on our YouTube memberships, which are now live. We're putting more and more content on there. If you go for the higher tier, you're going to get all of the extended episodes, like the supercuts. And we're going to start putting on lots more behind-the-scenes bits as well soon, so look out for that.